So it's doing a job in the sentence, right? Don't think about it literally, like a human is an object. Don't think about it. We're talking about the object that's doing a job in a sentence. This is the part of speech. So in this case, I am called. What am I called? Obama. So the action is to be called. I'm doing the action. I am called something. And then Obama's receiving the action. I'm being called Obama. All right, so that's why I said some of these are abstract. You have to suspend your notion of what you think about physical actions, right? It's not always I throw the ball. It's not always I pick up the piece of paper. There are abstract actions that you need to understand when we're talking about sentence structures and parts of speech. All right, let's take a question because questions are a little trickier. Is there a subject and a verb in a question?
No. Yes, no, yes, no. Yes.
Raise your hand if you think there's a subject and a verb in a question. Raise your hand if you think there is not. There is a subject and a verb in a question because a question is still a sentence. And the definition of a sentence is a statement or a question that contains a subject or a verb. You have to have a subject, you have to have a verb. You have to have something that's doing the action, you have to have an action. All right, so you can have a sentence with only a subject and a verb, but you can't without unless it's a command. A command cannot have a subject and a sentence. So, wie alt bist du? Wie alt bist du? What's the subject in this sentence, Justin? Nein.
How?
Wie means how. How old are you?
Where are you?
What? How old are
The
you?
first sentence.
Oh, we're on wie alt bist du.
What's the subject?
Subject of the sentence, wie alt bist du? How old are you? Well, is how doing the action in the sentence?
No.
Is old? Are you?
Dude.
You're doing the action, right? Because you haven't done the action yet, I'm asking you, so you're going to answer with the action. So, du, you, is the subject. And then what's the verb? What is the verb? Aaron.
Alt.
9. We're here. Alt is old. What is old? What part of speech is old? If I said I am old. If I said the old man.
Alt.
Alt, what part of speech is that? What would that be called? I am old or the old man.
Adjective.
The adjective, right? It's a descriptive word. It's a descriptor. So old is an adjective. You is a subject. What are you doing? Has anyone ever heard of being verbs? This is why this one's confusing. I'm guessing you probably haven't heard of being verbs.
No.
Being verbs are am, are, is. Okay, so I am, you are, he is, she is, they are, we are. Those are called being verbs. So these are different from action verbs. All right, there's two types of verbs, being verbs and action verbs. So a being verb is making the connection between the subject, I, and between an adjective or between some kind of designation like a job, right? So I am a pilot. I am a pilot. I am, the being verb is making a connection between I and pilot. I am a teacher. I is a subject, teacher is a noun, right? And am is making the connection between those two. That's why it's called a being verb. What am I? I am a teacher. I am a man. I am old. I am tired. I am hungry. So you're making connections between adjectives or between designations like a job or something like that. So bist would be our verb. Bist would be our verb. Is there an object in this sentence? Nine. There is no object in the sentence. So nothing's receiving the action. Okay, there's nothing receiving the action. Let's move on. So verb endings we can just leave blank. We're gonna write first, second, and third person over each subject. So let's go to this one since Levi has all the subjects highlighted.
I did some of it, and Aaron did some.
Wunderbar. Das ist wunderbar.
But I think some of them are wrong, and some of them are just not the same colors. You see how like some of them are the same colors?
It looks pretty good. This all looks pretty good to me. The V, I would erase that. V means how, so that's a question word.
I didn't.
Everything else looks pretty good. So the subjects are in what color, Justin?
Purple.
Purple, good. So what person did we say ich is, Aaron?
I.
What? Yes, but what person is it? First, second, or third?
First.
First person. So can one of you write a one on top of over the ich? What about du? What person is du?
You.
You. And what person? First, second, or third?
Second.
Second person. Good. So thank you very much. What about, so du, we know a two goes over that. And then ich, we know a one goes over that. Ich, we know a one goes over that for first and second. What about familia? Is that first, second, or third?
First.
9. 9.
Family comes first.
Ja, aber it's not first person. Ja, dritte Person, third person. Very good. So familia is third person. Why is that? Because if I was going to use he, she, or it in place of family, which one would I use? Or they? He, she, it, or they?
They
They
or it.
or it. Grammatically correct would be it because familia is considered singular. It's not a plural word. So I would say my family is, I wouldn't say my family are. So therefore, to take the place would be it or s. So it is third person, and s would take the place of familia if we were going to put a pronoun in there. All right, does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's the second part, or the third part. And now, so Aaron, Levi, and Justin already started doing this. All you have to do is put the ich, du, and familia in this letter, this case, and all of them are going to have ich and du, and then most of them have familia. If you don't see familia in yours, you probably only have first or second person. And put them in the graphic organizer, separated into first, second, and third. And then the verb, make sure that they correspond correctly, which Justin and Aaron have correct. E ending for ich, st ending for du. If you weren't sure about that, you just look at what the endings are next to the pronouns that are used. All right, so you see du, and you would just write this verb, st. You see ich, you have an e ending, heiße. Bist, a little bit different. So the to be, all right, to be or not to be. To be. These are the being verbs. So if you see ich bin, which means am, this is am. Bist is are, and ist is. Those are different. These don't get verb endings the same as action verbs get verb endings. So that's why you don't see an e at the end of bin. You do see a st here, you do see a st here, but they're different from action verbs. Go ahead.
In sentence 3, what is the object?
Good question. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
No, not that one. That's the fourth one.
Ich bin 14 Jahre alt. Good question. I would say Jahre. Jahre. All right. So remember that bin is not an action verb. It's a being verb. Okay. So it's not receiving the action. All right. But it's the object because what am I? I'm making the connection between I and then 14 years old. What am I? I'm 14 years old. Yara is a noun, and it's the object of the sentence. Yeah.
So is that done?
What? Indeed, yeah. All right, and then before we still have 2 minutes, but we'll dismiss in 1 minute. No, don't stand up,
No,
please.
sure.
Yeah, don't do that, please.
I'm sorry.
I'm not done talking. That's a distraction. Thank you very much. So they've already finished this. Please split this work up between your group. Then when you're finished, open up the individual document down here. Please pay attention. You're going to choose 2 of the letters different from the one that you did in your group doc. You're going to do the same thing, highlight subject, verb, stem, direct object, write first, second, third over it, separate them into the subject and verb graphic organizer, and then complete this closed activity. I would love for you to do that before Wednesday so that we can start on our PenPals letter. The last thing before you leave, please. If you have not done the hobbies und Aktivitäten from cycle 8, it's now on the cycle 9 activity board. This is important to do also before Wednesday because we're going to be expanding our letters and saying 2 hobbies that we do. And we're going to ask, what's your hobby? Was magst du gern? Ich spiele gern Disc Golf. Ich spiele gern Basketball. Was magst du gern? So please watch this pair deck, Hobbies und Aktivitäten. Auf Wiedersehen.
Me and Justin has something together, but Justin understands what to do. Me and Justin have to do like a project together, but I don't understand what to do.
Oh, that was the group document?
Yeah, but it was like an old one.
Cycle 7. No, was it this one?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. So this is the instructional video. Did you watch this?
I think I did before, but it was a while ago. So
Watch that. Bye, Travis. Watch that instructional video, and after you watch that, send me a message with like kind of exactly what you're not sure about, because I explain it pretty well in that video.
and then when it goes down, so we have to click on this.
So this is the group doc, right? Justin's already finished this.
Okay.
So you can use this to help you. So you're going to want to open the individual document.
Mhm.
You can use the group doc to help you because it's almost the exact same thing. So I'll show you real quick. Oops. What am I doing here? So those videos that I do, right?
Mhm.
There's questions in there,
Okay.
like woher kommst du? And then there's verbs, like we're learning the verbs right now. Kommst, heißt, everything we just did now, those verbs are on this too. So you're listing from those videos, and I put the words that I'm saying also up there so you can pause it and copy it.
So sorry for me.
Go ahead.
So what is when you're saying this in question? These are questions that you
Yeah.
said in the like.
All the questions from the videos you list here. So Justin did it, so you can use this. Oh no, he didn't. All right, so sorry, Justin didn't do that one. But this is already done.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're
Because I
welcome.
didn't want to just not ask at all and get like bad grade. But I did do one of the assignments that I had to do because the other ones I didn't understand for the moment because I was trying to rush.
Yeah.
I was coming from New York.